Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good evening to everyone. Distinguished guests, respected speakers, and ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you today for coming up to our today's session. My name is Muhammad Faiz bin Ismail and it is such an honor for me to be our moderator for our today's forum. So, ladies and gentlemen, in today's digital era, the way news is produced, shared, and consumed has undergone a significant transformation. One of the most influential developments is by the rise of citizen journalism. Citizen journalism has reshaped the landscape of international news reporting by enabling ordinary individuals to report events in real life time, often from places where traditional media may have limited access. Through social media platforms, mobile devices, and online networks, citizens now play an active role of shaping global narrative, raising awareness of critical issues, and providing alternative perspective on international events. At the same time, this transformation has introduced new challenges, including accuracy, credibility, and ethical responsibility in news reporting. It is within this context that today's session will explore the topic how citizen journalism has changed the landscape of international news coverage. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our participants today. First of all, we have Brother Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Anwar, Brother Muhammad Firdaus Hakimi bin Rizal, Brother Muhammad Fitri Amadi bin Arzu, Brother Muhammad Hassanuddin bin Jamaluddin, and Brother Haikal bin Tamrin. So, without further ado, I would like to invite Brother Hafizuddin bin Anwar to share about your opinion or your sharing regarding our topic today.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Well, if you ask for my opinion of what I think the biggest change regarding our topic today is, I think it will be really about the technology that we use every day, right? Let's take a look at our smartphones. Everybody have smartphones, yes. Even the elders, the young kids, everybody in this generation, in this century, they all have smartphones. But what does the existence of smartphones mean? Well, this basically turns every people that is on the streets, the village, even in the big cities, they change the person to a reporter who can share almost everything across the world, across the sea, and even across the continents, right? Well, in the past we had gatekeepers, right? The TV outlets, the newspapers agencies, the radio stations. Well, whenever these gatekeepers wanna share informations, they wanna share news, they will go through a process called censorship, editing, which means they choose what we see. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say here? Yeah. They choose what we see. They choose what we think are best for us. Well, this defeats the point of free will. We don't have the freedom to choose what we want to consume. But with the technological advancement that we have today, well, it basically just makes the filter gone, makes the filter vanish. Well, not entirely vanish. There are some filters, but maybe we'll discuss it later. Well, with the advancement of technology, it makes the cultural exchange feel much more real. Well, why do I say so? Well, let's take a look at let's take an example in our own country. Well, let's say there's an accident that happened just now. Well, we don't know about it, but maybe in a few minutes, 10-30 minutes more or less, we will know about the accident, the videos, where it happened, how it happened, and who are involved through our phone. By who? By the citizens, by the people who was there to experience the accident, right? Maybe perhaps the accident from the people themselves. Let's say I have a friend. My friend just crashed his car behind me. I don't know, right? And the first thing he might do is he called me saying that, oh, he got into an accident. Oh, now I know, and then I'll tell it to the groups, and that's how most citizen journalists work. But unlike the big agencies, they have to wait, they have to send a journalist, they have to send a reporter to take assessment of the accident, right? And that will take hours. They will need to go through the process, like I said before, the editors, the censorship, and it will take a very long time for the information to reach us, the audience, right? Well, enough of this country. Let's take a look outside. When speaking of citizen journalists, I came I came to think about two things: the Western world and even the Middle Eastern. Well, let's take a look at the Middle Eastern one, the Palestine and this Israel's issue. Well, of course, in this century, everybody knows about the Palestinian issue, the Israel war, right? Well, how do we know exactly? Through the news outlets, through our phones. But back in the 70s, right? They don't have such things as they don't have phones, right? They don't have any citizen journalists doing the reports for them. So they only rely on televisions, they only rely on radios, they only rely on newspapers. But these informations, of course, gatekeepers, they make the things biased. For Western, like the US, like the French, they would see the Israel is the one in the right because what? Oh, the Palestinian attacked them first. They are just defending themselves. But in us, Malaysia, oh, we know the true story. But today, with the citizen journalists, it opens our eyes. It gives us a sense of awareness towards the issue that is happening. Even the US now, some of them see what is truly happening in the US, in the Palestine. We see that, oh, the bombing, the attack on the citizens, the attack on the refugees camps. That is why citizen journalists can be accomplished through the advancement of technologies. Well, another simple example is the Russian and Ukraine conflict. Well, I've read somewhere before where they say that Germany aided the Ukraine in the war through military power. Okay, they sent tanks, but citizens, through the eyes of citizens, we can see that, oh, the tanks have just been destroyed. We don't get that from the news, we get that from the citizen. And so we get two types of information through the TV outlets and the citizens. But of course, it's fast, it's quick, we get the information quick, but we don't know the credibility, whether it's true or false, we don't know. I think that is all from me. How about we hear it from other participants?
So, for me, I want to discuss about how this misinformation can be spread. So, to discuss misinformation, we have to know what the definition of misinformation. So, for my opinion, the misinformation is define what the information within is truly false and clash with the truth information. So, why this information keep frequently happen among us or among the citizen journalists? First, is this why this misinformation keeps repeating? Because the citizen journalists want to be the first one to deliver the news, not the credibility news, right? The real truth news. So if they want to be the first one, so I want to be the first one to deliver this news. So when they want to be the first, they not filter it is where it's true or not. So by we can see on big agency or traditional journalism such as TV3, TV9 or NBC, we can see that they deliver the real filter news to us. So as we can see that it is the differences between citizen journalism and also the traditional journalism, where the citizen just spread the news, what the sensation news, what they want. But from the big agency or traditional journalism, spread the news with the credibility and also with the integrity that they have. They post the news with their ethicals and what they what they filter is good for us, like the brother Hafizuddin said. So we as a users of social media, or we as a citizen journalist, have to be smart to prevent this information keep happen. For me, that we have to be a filter, not like a sponge. When you be a sponge, you already what we call absorb or accept all the news, whether it is true or it is false. You just absorb the news. But we have to be a filter where you have to be what we call critical in different to differences between it is true or not. So as we see that Palestinian and also Israel always compete whether Palestine or Israel, it is a true news. On the Palestinian side, as we can see that Palestinian get attacked by the Israel, but from the Israel side, we can see that Israel said that Palestinian attacked them first. So here we can see that people might be confused with this misinformation. So we as a user or as a citizen journalism have to be smart whether to deliver or spread the information to avoid any misinformation spread or happen again. So that's for me. And brother Fitri, what do you think?
First, I would like to touch about how citizen journalism has pressure international journalism to produce news faster. Okay, so first, international journalism has to fact check or analyze the citizen generated content in order for it to not be fake or misleading. Although some people, especially in citizen journalism, they produce news just to cause a riot, a ruckus, or messy, just for a self pleasure, because there are this type of person in the real world. So I think international journalism changed because citizen journalism are faster. Yes, they are fast, but the source of information may be fake. So this is why I think international journalism are more efficient. But there are some real cases in the modern society that can be taken as an example, which is in 2001 there is a flood in Selangor. So what happened was the victim of the flood decided to take a video of the incident where there has been a rising water level, and a car immobilized just because of the flood, and the family in the village had to move from other places in order to making sure that they are safe. So by uploading these videos or uploading this news, we can make the higher up to take more action fastly, because we as a citizen would rather that our people has been given more help fastly than before. So I think traditional journalism are also good because they raise awareness, but on the background, citizen journalism also raise this awareness of the people that has been a victim for time to time. Yeah, I think that's it from me.
Thank you, Brother Fitri, for your sharing. So basically, to conclude, like three of our speakers, Brother Hafiz has already mentioned about the development of technologies, how it related with our real life issues and so on. And moving on to Brother Daos, like he used to share with us on how we as a citizens or social media users, how can we prevent the misinformation, and also it actually aligned with the concept of tabayun as well. And last but not least, we have Brother Fitri Amadi, which is he did share about the how does the citizen journalism is more advanced than traditional journalism and so on. So let's move to Brother Hassan. So Brother Hassan, in your opinion, what comes up in your mind when we are talking about citizen journalism and how it shaped international news reporting? What do you think?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Now it's my turn to speak. Okay, in my opinion, citizen journalists are caused by human curiosity. Why? Because the news that we already have today, the government news, the news agency, traditional news, whatever you say, these news doesn't fulfill our curiosity. So citizen journalists fulfill these gaps and add more insight about what happened in our locals and our international real world. So this can raise our awareness upon what's actually happened. For example, we take Brother Apis examples of Palestinians and Israelis. In US government perspective, Israel is the one who actually attacked by the Palestinians. However, it is because the US tried to censor what the truth is. However, the citizen journalists unfold the truth because the Palestinian citizen upload their conditions.
Their side of the story, essentially.
Yeah, right. The Palestinians are recording themselves in destructive buildings, so we know that they are in bad conditions, right? So, citizen journalists, in my opinion, fulfill more gaps in our news today, in our traditional news, because it can satisfy our curiosity what's actually happened in the real world, not just mere information, not just filtered informations, but we get the raw footage of it. We can analyze it by ourselves. But as Brother Daus mentions that we cannot be like a sponge, because if we act like a sponge, we will absorb whatever that we receive without even checking it, without fact checking it, right? So we need to act like a filter. We need to be critical in literate the media. So my suggestions, because of the adding of citizen journalism, we can upgrade our education. We can increase our awareness in media literacy and how we can shape individuals learn about the media, how media operate, who control the media, and what the media try to achieve. Are we on the same page?
Yes,
I
yes,
agree.
yes.
Yeah.
About how the media set the agenda, right?
Yeah, how the media set the agendas, because we fear that the agendas are set by government are try to control us, right? So we don't want to be controlled. So it's that's my opinions about it. Let's move on to our next participant, Brother Haikal. Or Mr. Moderator, you want to add anything?
Okay, so basically just like what Brother Hassan has mentioned regarding basically how USA portray Israeli, the one as being betrayed by the Palestinians, right? So basically here we can say that the social media actually set the agenda, the one who have the power of authority, right? Yes. So I think that is all. Thank you, Brother Hassan, for your sharing. Let's move to Brother Carl. So, Brother Haikal, what can you say about our topic? As you are the last participants for our today's session, what can you say or conclude regarding our topic?
So I would like to build upon what was already established by our former respondents, especially from Brother Ahmadi and Brother Hassan. I do believe that we are living in different times compared to our parents and our grandparents. Time has changed, and media has evolved from just mere a platform for sharing photos and videos and such, entertainment essentially. It has evolved into this sort of platform where we general populace are allowed to express themselves. Not only express themselves, it has turned into an international tool for accountability. What I mean by this now, take the Arab Spring, for instance. It was a time where the Arab nations revolted against their tyrant leaders, and during this time there was obviously a widespread nationwide censorship where journalists was barred from reporting within the nations that these revolutions were occurring. The citizens there took matters into their own hands by becoming their own journalists. They reported what was happening to them. They reported the tyranny and the injustice that they were experiencing within the nation, in hopes of a better future. And essentially, these by becoming their own journalists, they spread the information throughout the world, and it in turn responded with a global condemnation, and it resulted in the UN taking actions and other government bodies also condemning these tyrants, these dictators of their tyrant ways. And eventually most of these nations that went through the Arab Spring eventually got what they wanted: freedom. Yes. And I agree, social media, the media, the world that we live in has truly evolved from being reliant to these massive news outlets such as the BBC, the Al Jazeera, the CNN. These media outlets, if you can recall, they can be quite biased, in my opinion. They are biased, in fact. Some of them are lenient to right-wing or left-wing propaganda. They dismiss certain topics as it does not fit their narrative that they are trying to push. So this usually results in a certain topic, as mentioned earlier by our respondents, the Palestine and Israeli conflict. Certain media outlets, especially that from the West, tend to undermine the Palestinian struggle and tries to elevate Israeli as merely a protector, where in truth they are actually the aggressors in the story. So yeah, by having our own independent journalists, you could say, independent correspondents that are on the ground, not only we create a more diverse narrative, we also create a stage where anyone can have a say in this world. They have the right to say something, whether they are being prosecuted, where they're being tarnished over by a dictatorship. They have the right to speak out, and in this modern day, they have the power. Their voice have the power to be heard from across the globe. Sorry. To further cement this, it is also a platform. The media, as we may very well know, has become a platform where the marginalized people around the globe can have a say, and they essentially they have the power to express themselves. Correct. They express themselves, and they have the right to be heard, as all humans should be. Yes. And
so basically, like, we can say that the citizen journalism is very crucial, right, for us to
Yes.
stay alert with news and so on.
exactly, yes, it is essential. It is crucial for human existence right now, especially in this globalization era. It is important that we have this aspect so that we know what is happening across the world. What are we going to wake up to tomorrow? It is essential for our livelihoods. It may not affect us directly, but believe me, a change from across the globe, from one side of the continent, may very well affect us the very next day. Yes. Yeah, and all in all, obviously, it does come with a downside. Yes, we have an endless supply, an endless source of information today, but it is our duty as a ethical human being. We should fact check these sources because it can be a source of misinformation, as Brother Firdaus has stated, and instead of creating unity or solidarity against tyranny, it can also become a sort of tool for us to be diverted, to be. It is a tool that we now express as to create division, essentially. So yes, it is essentially a double-edged sword. It can be a tool to create unity and solidarity, but it can also become a tool to create diversion within a society.
So basically, like the citizen journalism also has like its own pros and cons in
Yes,
shaping
truly.
the international news reporting. So basically, for like other participants, do you have another thoughts or anything that related to our today's topic? Okay.
Mr. Moderator, I like how they touch about the misinformation, the media literacy. So it got me thinking about this one event that happened not long ago. Did you guys remember what happened during the 15th general election?
Yes.
Yes. Now, the misinformation there is that the online netizens said, "Oh, the May 13th incident will happen again." But like Hassan said, the media literacy is a must in everybody that holds a smartphone, right? They must interpret the things, they must check the credibility in order for this misinformation, like Haikal said, not to divide our country by the inside, right? So what I'm trying to say here, it's just like what Haikal said. Citizen journalism have its own pros and cons, have its own benefits and its downside. Well, its benefits, like we've all mentioned before, the technological advancement, it gives people the free will to speak, it gives the perspective from the people that the news does not cover. And but the downside, of course, the misinformations. Well, the misinformation lead to a more chaotic incident that can happen in the country. People riots outside the political buildings. And then the government had to pay for the riot police to work an extra 24 hours just to keep the peace in Malaysia.
Essentially, a waste of resources.
Yes, it will become a burden for us to a country because we pay the tax, but the tax is used because some yeah, so it's a really bad diversion because we paid for something that is not supposed to be done. Yeah, it's because of the people's own media literacy. They just like Brother Daud said, they just absorb it like a sponge. So why don't they just check the credibility before, right?
Yes.
What do you guys think?
Yeah. For me, I hope that the traditional journalism and also the citizen journalism, like we call, complement each other to make a unity that, like Brother Haikal said, that the citizen journalism have the pros and cons, which is to create unity, and also they can create the diversion in a unity also.
Yes.
So yeah, for me, I hope that the citizen journalism and traditional journalism really complement each other to make the misinformation not happen again, and also make the news spread with the truthfully.
Thank you, Brother Daos. So basically, I think that is all for our today's forum as it will come to the end. I would like to thank our participants for engaging in a very interesting talk about your opinion regarding our topic, which is how does citizen journalism has shaped the landscape of international news coverage. So I think that is all for our today's session. Thank you and Assalamualaikum. Okay. Kurang 3 minit. Tapi tak apa sebab awal tu kat 3 saat. 3 minit, 3 saat. Cuba tengok. I'm so tired. Oh.
Lepas ni better lagi.